I still can't even hardly believe my ears when you even tell me this.
Absolutely preposterous.
Don't believe everything you hear on the radio.
I don't believe in such talk as this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of America! President Camacho!
Shut up! Sit your motherfucker down. Chill out. I know it's bad right now with all that starving bullshit and the dust storms and we running out of French fries and burrito coverings.
Yeah.
But I got a solution.
That's what you said last time, dip. You got a solution? You're a
South Carolina, what's up? That's what I thought. Now, I understand everyone's emotional right now, but listen up. I got a 3-point plan to fix everything. Number one, we got this guy not sure. Number two, he's got a higher IQ than any man alive. And number three, he's gonna fix everything. I give you my word as president. He'll fix the problems with all the dead crops. He's gonna make them grow again. And that ain't all. I give you my word. He's gonna fix the dust on the street. And I give you my word. He's gonna fix the economy. He's so smart. He's gonna do it all in 1 week.
President Camacho stood before the world and promised everyone that Joe would solve all their problems. He would not only end the Dust Bowl and heal the economy, but he would cure acne and car sickness as well. And if he didn't, President Camacho made another promise. He would kick Joe's smart all the way up to the roof of his smart mouth, and then he would throw his brainy back in jail.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Brock Lawley program. My name is Brock Lawley. I am your fearless host, and this is the show we tackle news headlines. You know, I don't know if you saw the movie Idiocracy, but I can't think of a more prophetic movie ever. And certainly that President Camacho, or whatever the character's name is, boy, that is applicable right now, isn't it, as we have this circus. Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court is in the news, and, you know, the media is so sick. I've told you guys this before. I worked in the media for a number of years. I've worked in editorial rooms. I've seen how they do things, and I'm just calling this out, way out in front. So basically, Obama, you know, appointing a Republican nominee. This has been bandied about all over the place, except for by Obama, by the way. But all his water carriers in the alphabet soup are all out there talking about this, and it's just indicting conservatives, which by the way, I know that first of all, the Republican Party is too stupid to realize this, and for all the people who share my values, look, this is just water off a duck's back. This is just clanging of cymbals meaning nothing to me, because I already know that the Republicans not nominating any nominee in the last year, I already know that this is a reasoned argument. I already know this is lock solid. And you know how I know that? Biden told me. Obama told me. Chuck Schumer told me. Harry Reid told me. All the alphabet soup told me. They all told me this in 2007. So I already know we have a perfectly sound footing constitutionally, and I already know this is all political posturing. That's all this is. It's nothing more than that. It's political power play. You got the wagon circlers on the left, and they're floating this. So this nominee, this Republican, checkmate, they say. Wall Street Journal has a piece. And by the way, I love how it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who the nominee is. That's not the point. It's not the point. By the way, the New York Times and all these lefties, I mean, these people consider, like, Elena Kagan moderate. They have no credibility. They have absolutely no credibility. The New York Times editorial board is like the faculty lounge at the Kremlin. Zero credibility, about zero. Anyway, New York Times has a piece about it. Washington Post has a piece about it. Wall Street Journal has a piece about it. Henniger has a piece. Cruz got trumped. His analysis, pretty correct, actually. Cruz kind of took the ball off, the eye off the ball a little bit, I think with his campaign. I think that's safe to say, actually. I think Cruz got put on tilt. And it was the liar, liar, pants on fire accusation. And Trump's good at this, by the way. That's what he does to his opponents. He sends out these messages, and they just get picked up by the media, and it just saturates. And so Cruz left his messaging and started, putting himself on his heels, and I think the polls show that. Henniger has a piece on it, though. Trump's starting to pick up congressional support, by the way, and this is actually, I can guarantee you this is terrifying. Washington, D.C. like nothing else. Yeah, what I mean by that is a lot of D.C., Washington people are starting to jump ship from the establishment to the Trump train. And there's a lot of reasons for this. Maybe they think the cake's been baked. Maybe they think the ship's already left port and they want to get on the right winner. But man, this terrifies the Washington, D.C. cartel. So picking up Beltway endorsements. Nobody saw that coming a couple months ago. Politico, the shameful, despicable, libelous, yellow, journalistic Politico has that. Do you remember what Politico did to Ben Carson? Outright lies. Outright, full-on slander. I'll never forget it. Never as long as I live. The Politico is a rag. And then you got Romney out there. Romney saying this kind of nonsense about tax returns. I'm sure by now you've heard this. What's hilarious about the right and what's hilarious about the establishment is it took them all of like a week to get on one page and fight with the full mobilized troops and the full arsenal ready for war. Took them about a week to assemble that for Trump. But we're 7 years into the most destructive and evil administration the country's ever seen, and the GOP couldn't mobilize a force to push back, despite having reinforcements. What does that tell you about their priorities? The tone-deaf GOP. Here's my little political arithmetic problem for you. Are you ready? Are you ready, class? Mitch McConnell plus John Boehner plus 2 sweeping GOP political landslide victories, plus alphabet soup, plus do absolutely nothing, equals Donald Trump 2016. There it is. It's simple arithmetic, actually. It's not difficult stuff. There it is. And still they do not get it. Still they do not. It's an amazing thing to see. It's like seeing a 2-year-old with a Rubik's Cube. They're turning it. They know it turns. By now they figured out that the Trump Rubik's Cube turns. But that's all the further they've gotten on the learning curve. Nothing else. Still sending out their hacks with no credibility to sabotage the Trump train. Not going to work. Not going to work. By the way, there's a piece in the New York Times as well that Trump and Paul Ryan are headed for a clash, specifically if he wins the nomination. What will the Republican platform look like is the question the piece asks. Well, I'll tell you what, political landscape will never look the same after this election. The whole deck got shuffled. So not only is that a query, but there's going to be a whole lot of new frontier in front of us. Mark my words. Our ally Iran, ladies and gentlemen, the supreme leader of Iran, calls for unity against America. By the way, we just signed a deal with these people. Rallying the throat cutters, child rapists, and slaughterers of human beings all throughout the Middle East. We have a shared enemy. It's the great Satan. And the Ayatollah is bringing everybody together. backed by the strong treasury of the U.S., billions and billions of dollars being funneled in to the coffers of Iran so that they can compile a plan to defeat us in Armageddon-like bloodshed. Thank you, Barack Obama's foreign policy. Thank you. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously. Barack Obama's foreign policy is like, it's the equivalent of letting a pedophile teach your 5th grade elementary school class. That's how much sense Barack Obama's foreign policy makes. I'm serious. It's that, like, destructive and willingly destructive. So it's like sending a known pedophile into a 5th grade classroom, unsupervised. That's Barack Obama's 2016 foreign policy. It's unbelievable. CAnews.com has the Iran piece. What's so hot in fashion right now? Well, it's just awesome. Hot is so cold. Cold is so hot. Wet is so dry. Dry is so wet. It's just fabulous on so many levels. No, I'm not kidding. There's actually a piece in CNN. I'm sorry. France.24.com. I don't know how you keep up with this stuff, but the only reason I bring it to your attention is there's all kinds of social commentary in it. Anyway, get over to France24.com for a laugh. Paris. The Paris of the Middle East, ladies and gentlemen. A river of trash literally runs through Beirut. A literal river of trash. A country utterly dysfunctional and quickly descending into chaos once the Paris of Beirut. I got to tell you guys, everything Islamic fingers touch turns to death, decay, and destruction. And you want to know what their number one defender on the world stage is? Democrats and leftism. It's their number one ally by way of PR. It's their number one ally by way of funding. It's their number one ally by way of legitimacy. It's just a remarkable thing to see. Islam continuing to rape, pillage, and murder its way across the globe. And we still, apparently, do not have the fortitude to call it by name and deal with it. So it is ravaging our body as a human race, like the cancer that it's always been. Ex-Gitmo prisoner, accused of a terror plot. I'm sure Spain loved that we let this guy out. So literally, an ex-Gitmo trainer, a Gitmo detainee, just caught trying to murder individuals in Spain. And Obama wants to take the locks off the cages and let these monsters in human form loose. Again, I tell you, Obama's foreign policy, unprecedented in evil, unprecedented in cluelessness, unprecedented in sabotage. Simply nothing like it. Stripes.com has the piece. And lastly, I take a little bit of delight in this story. Hollywood's still struggling with its diversity issues. Last night, I watched Lawrence O'Connell of MSNBC. So basically, it was me watching the program, and then there was, like a weird social justice warrior in his dirty underpants in his parents' basement in Wisconsin. So we were the two people in the world watching Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNBC. And he was droning on, and I'm not kidding about this, on and on and on about this moment when somebody picks up a DVD, which, by the way, nobody picks up DVDs anymore, Lawrence O'Donnell. But this moment in his mind, he's hatching this grisly plan in Lawrence's mind on national television. He's like, us white people, we pick up this DVD. If we see a black face on this DVD, we don't relate to that. So we toss it away and don't give it the credit it's due for its artistic value. But when we pick up a DVD with a white face on it, we're so happy, and the inner KKK comes out, and we're just gleeful inside. This is the insane, rabies-bitten mind of the left, and it's not even rare. This is what they think about, talk about, and bring to the airwaves at a time when ISIS is cutting the head off of people. 100 million people are out of work. You got race riots everywhere. This is the crap rolling off their lips. It's remarkable to a sane mind. Ladies and gentlemen, sadly, and it is sad, it's not like I take any kind of joy in telling you these things, but sadly, that is the world as it spins chaotically off its axis under leftist rule. You are our greatest hope. Be a people of fortitude, character, courage. Share the podcast. Speak up. It's what they fear the most. Thank you for listening.
À Broclo, les productions.